joining me on Flow Finding today. If you're joining for the first time, Flow Finding is a process of making decisions that leads you to be, do, have, and create the life that you really desire. Okay, if you're joining for the first time, we've had a series of episodes that have lasted for weeks, months actually. So if you've missed out on any of those episodes, please go back, catch up on IGTV or on YouTube. You'll find the past videos there as well. We have talked about things ranging from creating clarity on our goals, setting goals, taking action. We've talked about creating connections and giving and taking feedback. And recently I talked about emotions and how they affect us on our journey of, creating the life that we want or desire. And that brings us to today. Today I'm super excited. I want to talk to you about something that is really dear to me. I was asking myself, how come I haven't spoken about this on Flow Finding until today? All right, today I want us to talk about creating options. I hope you're excited about this as I am. What does creating options mean to you? And what's the first thing that jumps into your mind when you hear creating options? So I have worked with people for a period of time now. And sometimes, maybe you have encountered this, sometimes you find yourself in a situation that you make a particular decision at this point in time. And later, fast forward, you sit down, you're looking at, what was I thinking? Why did I do that? Why did I do something like this? Most likely, if you've been there, at the moment that you made that decision, it was probably what looked like the best option to you. It was the only option in some cases. I've met people who do things that they regret later. And one of the things they said is, I didn't have a choice at the time. I didn't have any option. That was the only way out. So for me in this line of work, the goal I feel is for you to have choices, for you to have options in everything that you desire to do. To have options in life, to have options in career, to have options in your business, in your finances, in your relationships as well. To be in a place where you choose to do something because you want to, not that you do something because you have to, or it's the only thing that you can do at the time. Okay, so that is what our journey for creating options is about. And the question is, how can I create options for myself, and what aspects of life do I need to create options for? I know different ones of us watching this video are at different places in our lives, and the aspects of our life that we're trying to build or improve right now may differ. Some people are focusing on their finances, some people are focusing on their relationship, other people are focusing on their careers, and so on and so forth. So for today's topic of creating options, I'm going to be using a topic that everyone can relate to. At some level, everyone can relate to, so that you can go back and then apply this to your own life and how it plays out for you. Okay, so when it comes to creating options, one of the first things you want to do before you design options for yourself is first take responsibility. Taking responsibility means take responsibility for where you are now. You're not where you want to be, you're not where you wish to be, you're not where you planned to be, but that's okay. Taking responsibility means you're telling yourself, it's okay. I take responsibility for where I am now, but I'm also taking responsibility for where I want to go in the future. I'm also taking responsibility for the life that I want to create. Okay, nothing is your fault. Nothing is your fault. Life happens to us at different times. Life happens to different people in different ways. So nothing is your fault, but everything is your responsibility. Everything is your responsibility, which means if anything about your life is going to change, it's entirely up to you. If you're going to create different results, it's up to you. You have to make the decision, take control, and take responsibility. So once you've come to a place where you've taken responsibility for where you are right now, the next thing is to decide what is the goal. Right? Begin with the end in mind. When it comes to creating options for yourself or in that particular aspect of life, the next thing is, what is it that you want? Last week I spoke about this. If you missed it, please catch up. I spoke about knowing what you want, getting clarity on what you want. So what is it that you want right now? Maybe your life is here right now, which is not the place you intended it to be. Where would you rather be? What results will you rather be creating? Be specific about what you want. What is the goal? What is the desired outcome? All right. Welcome back. So I guess my video just went off halfway, so I'm having to just continue or catch up from where I stopped. That was beyond my control. Sorry about that. So if you're just joining the conversation, Hi V, hello. If you're just joining the conversation, I had started earlier and I said today we're talking about creating options. Thank you, Tammy, for joining back here, all right? So I was talking about how it's important for us to get to a place where we're able to create options for yourself so that we do things because we want to or we choose to, not because we have to and we don't see any other way out. The goal is to create options. If you have one way of doing something or one way of achieving something, you don't have a choice. It means you have no option at all. You have to do that, all right? Then if you have two ways of doing something, it's like, let me give you a scenario, a weird one, but yes, if you have an armed robber pointing a gun to your head and it says your money or your life, wouldn't you rather keep both of those things? So having two ways of achieving or doing anything, I like to say, is having a dilemma, being in a dilemma, not really having a choice per se. So for you to have choices or options, the goal is to create 3 or more ways of doing or achieving anything. And for today's session, I said I was going to use something that is easy and something that is relatable for everyone. So I'm going to be using finances. I'm going to be using increasing income. Thank you, Sam, for joining back. All right. So for instance, if you find yourself in a place where maybe you've set goals earlier, that your goal is to create more income, double your income, triple your income, whatever the goal is. Remember, creating more money is not a goal. You have to be specific. How much more money? $100 is more money, but $1,000 is also more money. So how much more money are you seeking to get? So when you have outlined, let's use for the sake of this example that you want $3,000 extra monthly, that's your goal. That's what you're working towards. Right? The goal now is to create options. What we do most times is to say, I have a job and the goal is to get this additional income or to get this result we want through that one way that we have. And sometimes we have two. Maybe you have a job and you have a business. That's good. But how about creating more options for yourself to say you have 3 or more ways of achieving this goal? You have 3 or more ways of making this work for you. You have 3 or more ways of making this your new reality, right? So I said the first way of doing that is determining what you truly want or desire, taking responsibility first, and then determining what you really want or desire. So once you've done these 2 things, let's get back on the horse. Once you've been able to take responsibility for where you are and where you want to go, you now know that it's entirely dependent on you, and you have outlined specifically what you want to do. The goal is now, the question is, how can I make this happen for me? How can I make this possible for me? All right. So if I'm using the idea of money or more income as my example in today's episode, I would say, what do I already have? Right? What do I already have? What do I already know? What am I already good at? That if I can sharpen that skill or if I can add to it, it would be able to give me an option to arrive my destination. It will be able to give me an option to earn more income. It will be able to give me an option to make extra income. What skill, what ability do I already have? What knowledge do I already have that if I add to it or fine tune it, it would help me create that extra source of income that I want. Like I said, not everybody's goal is to make income. So if, for example, your goal is not this and you have something else you're working on, but you cannot decide how to create options, feel free to buzz me. Feel free to reach out. I would be excited and glad to work with you. I've gotten people who ask me this, and yes, I am open to work with you one-on-one. All right. So the first way is to, what do you have that you can add on to create or help you create this life that you desire? Number 2, right? What do you have? This became very prominent for me after the lockdown. I noticed that a lot of people spent the lockdown acquiring a lot of skills, learning everything that was possible to learn and everything that was available to learn. This is great and this is good. I talked about this in one of my episodes before. Everything is learned, so it's great that you've put yourself out there to learn. But what happened is some of us acquired a lot of skills that now we feel paralyzed. When you have too many things that you think you can do, then you're not sure, you're not focusing on any one per time. So number 2 says, what can you keep aside? What can you hold off on? What can you take away from all of this bulk that you have that would be able to help you make sense of the rest so that you can create the life that you desire? Maybe you're overwhelmed with so much going on for you. What can you fine tune? Maybe it's your business. It's so much going on. Which aspects can you pick a particular aspect that you fine tune and you keep the others? So what can you take away right now and focus on one particular thing so that it helps you create and achieve the goal that you desire, all right? The first is what can you add to what you know. The second is what can you take away, what can you separate so that you can focus on what you truly desire. All right. The third is something that is pretty easy. Some of us spread ourselves thin because we want to do everything by ourselves. How about if you're very good at this part, there is a product you can make, but you're very good at the first part of it, but you don't know the B part of it or how to do. How about you outsource some of the responsibilities you have so that you can focus on what you're really, really, really good at? Okay, learn to trust people to handle your roles for you. Learn to trust people to do the jobs that you've assigned to them. Learn to trust other people to handle certain responsibilities so that you're not spreading yourself too thin and therefore feeling stuck. If you're going to have more time to create the life that you desire, then you have to get to a place where you trust other people to handle certain things for you. You outsource other things so that you have more time to focus on the things that matter, the things that are important to you. Having extra time gives you an option, all right? Having extra time gives you an option. Now, I hope you have been with me so far. The first one I said is what do you have that you can fine tune or add to? The second way to get option is what can you sieve away so that you can focus on an exact thing? The third I said is outsourcing. You've got to trust people to handle other responsibilities so that you have an option of doing the thing you like the most, the thing that interests you the most, and the thing that you would really, really rather be doing. Now, number 4, one way of creating option for yourself is collaboration. Collaboration, which means if you alone is able to do this amazing thing, how about if you had 2 good heads that come together? Please note I said 2 good heads, all right? 2 good heads. People of like mind, people that have the same end goal, people that are aiming or working towards achieving the same thing that you are aiming for, people that are working towards the same direction that you're working on, and then you come together and you create this power pack and you explode. That is another way to create option for yourself. All right, so I've talked about several ways of creating options for yourself, whatever it is for you right now. Some people stay in a relationship that's not working for them because they feel they don't have any option. It's the only thing they know. Other people stay stuck in a job they don't like because they feel they don't have an option. The goal is you have so many options. All right, there are people who have been stuck. They wanted to probably go to school and they have just this one school, this one scholarship they've been applying for. Increase your options. Apply for 3, 4, 5. I've met young people who say, I've been applying for a job for years, and I say, how many jobs have you applied for? And they say, oh, 2. The goal is give yourself options. Apply for 20, apply for 30, all right? Give yourself options. If you started one business, it's not working, give yourself options. Create another, start another, all right? The goal is for you to know that you don't have to do anything, but you always choose to do anything. And when I talk about options, it's not just tangible things. Give yourself options when it comes to managing your emotions. Give yourself options when it comes to managing your connections. All right? It's very important. You don't have to feel angry. You choose to feel angry because there are a wide variety of other things you could have felt instead. Let me give you a quick example. I was heading to the office this afternoon. I was hurrying because I had something to catch up with, and I got this Uber. I got this rider. And it showed that the rider was 2 minutes away, so I was excited. I was waiting. I walked out of the gates just so that it makes the whole journey faster. But this person kept driving on the same spot. He kept going round and missing the place. I stayed on the phone. At some point, I got really tired and I felt, oh, I want to end the ride. I was upset, actually. I was upset. And then when he finally, for some reason, as I was about to cancel, I saw him drive by, so I got in the ride. Pay attention. I talked about emotional options. For some of us, we feel stuck like, I'm angry, I have to feel angry about this. This person made me angry. However, as I sat there, I just realized you can choose to be angry and it will ruin the rest of your day, or you can choose to let it go, or you can choose to just relax and enjoy the rest of your day. So the question for you today is, do you have emotional options? Do you have options when it comes to your relationships? Do you have options when it comes to your career, your businesses, your finances, or whatever aspect of life it is that is important to you right now or that you are working on? The goal is create options for yourself. Remember, if you have one way of doing something, one way of achieving something, you don't have an option. If you have 2, you have a dilemma. You begin to have options where you have 3, 4, and more. All right. this is it for today on Flow Finding Friday. I really hope you found some value. And like I said earlier, if you're looking to create or design options in an aspect of your life that you would really like me to help you work on, do feel free to a message, Suni Malo, on all social media platforms, sunimalo1@gmail.com. I'll be excited to hear from you. I'll be excited to work with you. And I look forward to hearing your feedback as well. Thank you so much, V, Tammy, and Sam, for staying to the end of this episode of Flow Finding. I will see you the same time next week. Enjoy your weekend, enjoy the week ahead, and don't forget, create options for yourself. You don't have to do anything. You choose. You choose. You choose to do something. Okay, I just got a quick question. Tammy said, how do you create options in your relationship? Okay, good. So an example is you find people who probably feel stuck. They're in this relationship that is not what they want, or is not what they want anymore. Anything that you're experiencing now, at some point you really wanted. You wanted to create, you wanted to have, but maybe it's not working for you, or maybe you've outgrown it, or maybe it's not what you want anymore, but you feel stuck because, okay, this is the person I've known, this is the person I've been with, scared of what is out there. So how you create options for yourself is, what else can I do, right? I have this one person as an option. Am I open to let myself go out there and meet other people? Or am I open to working with this person? There's usually something about the relationship that's not working with you. So are you saying, I want us to go to counseling and make this work? That's one option. Are you saying, oh, I want to work out and be somebody else? That's another option. Staying with the person the way they are is another option. So I hope you're seeing where I'm going with this. It's always options. And whichever you choose to do, remember that you're choosing to do it. You don't have to do it. Okay? So in your relationship, you can decide if you want to stay with this person or this group of people or persons, or if you want to work and deliberately improve this relationship or friendship. That is option number 2. You can choose also if you want to walk out of this relationship or friendship. That is another option, and meet somebody else. So whatever that is for you, feel free. I hope that answered your question, Tammy. I hope that answered your question. Feel free to explore. Just ensure that you give yourself choices so that you don't feel stuck and you don't feel like you have to do anything. Remember, you're always choosing to do everything that you do. All right, Tammy, let me know if that answers your question. And thank you everyone else for staying to the end. I look forward to hearing from you soonest, all right? Thank you and have an amazing weekend. Bye.